On this episode, we hang out at Zwanzig's and tell you all about the second annual Columbus Craft Beer Fest. Are you ready to celebrate?
Whoa.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another Hashtag Celebrate Columbus show. My name is Josh Burnett, and as you can see, we've got a great crew of guests here tonight. We're hanging out with the Columbus Craft Beer Fest crew. We've been having some beers, we've been talking, we've been hanging out at Zwanzig's Pizza and Brewery, and we're so excited to tell you, Columbus, about this year's, the second annual Columbus Craft Beer Fest. Last year was awesome, and this year is going to be even better. But before we get into the details of this great event, we're going to go ahead and introduce the crew and tell us why you wanted to be involved with this great beer fest.
My name's Daniel West, and I want to be involved to give back to the community and, of course, enjoy some great beer.
My name is Jordan Hilber, and I got involved just because I was looking for a good opportunity to get out there and do something that would make a difference. And I'm from Columbus, born and raised, and we don't really have a lot of big events in Columbus, so I thought this would be a really great event for Columbus.
So much like Dan and that motorcycle, giving back to the community and drinking some great beer with some great people. I mean, it's a fun time, and can't wait till Saturday, man.
Yeah, so we started Columbus Craft Beer Fest last year, and a lot of the reason why we did it was to try to not only bring young people to Columbus and show young people that we can do great things in Columbus too, but also, you know, there's a lot of festivals that go on across Indiana right now, and the proceeds all go to profit. And a lot of the reasons why we did this was because we found that young people actually give a lot of their money regardless of the cause, and we wanted to make sure that the dollars stayed here in Columbus and stayed in our community.
Thanks, Elaine. Dave Morse. I've been a home brewer for 14 years, craft beer lover for probably 20 or so, and having a festival in my adopted hometown has just been a dream.
Very cool. It is going to be a great event, and we can't wait to tell you all about the details. So let's get into the show.
Craft beer. Man's quest for a better beer. Aspirations with the right motivation, they can change the world. But sometimes a reality check is needed. Sometimes our friends just don't want to hurt our feelings. Sometimes mom is just being mom. Some ideas are just plain genius. Plain genius. You may not have invented beer seeds, but you can always come to the Columbus Craft Beer Fest at Millrace Park on Saturday, September 30th, and taste the creations of over 50 of the best craft beer brewmasters around. If you call yourself a craft beer enthusiast, we will see you there.
How is craft beer different than other beers?
So other beers, and you mean by like the whole homogenous kind of what we've gotten used to over the years?
Yeah,
where
like
it's
the Bud
just
Lights, the
boring.
Coors Lights, you know?
Boring, pretty much like drinking water. I mean, so take like a Zwanzig's beer, as you can see I love here. They've got some amazing like mad scientists that are here making incredible beer. All the different types of beers that you could probably think of. The IPAs. I mean, what are you drinking?
Scotch and chocolate.
The chocolate.
Porter.
Oktoberfest.
So, I mean, come on. I mean, look at all this. It's a diversity of beer, for goodness sakes. But, I mean, this is something that happens throughout the entire state of Indiana, and we're bringing everybody to the Beer Fest here in Columbus, Indiana, beautiful Millrace Park, and we're really celebrating what real beer is. So, if you want real beer and you want to take a vacation from kind of the boring stuff, this is where you should go.
Yeah, and you know, for me it's more about supporting local jobs and local businesses, and with beer, with craft beer, you know, Mike, who's the brewer here at Zwanzig's, lives here in Columbus, and so do Kurt and Lisa, who owns Wanzig's. And these are people who live in your communities, who give back to the community, who invest, in local tax dollars in schools and wages. And so even the other craft breweries, which we have 40 that are coming to Columbus for Craft Beer Fest, they are all also small businesses that are operating in their town as well. And so it's a little bit different than the big chains that are, sold at Walmart or Anheuser-Busch that's operating, nationally. This is more of a small business type thing. Yeah, and they're hiring local people who work here at the bar and things like that.
So I guess I should just mention that we are at the best small brew pub in the United States today. Last year, Mike took 2 medals at the Great American Beer Festival, which actually brings a lot of credibility to this location and to what they're doing here. It's quite an achievement. Those are not easily earned awards, and it's great that we have it right here locally.
After last year's event, what are some of the things that you guys have learned as a crew that's going to make this year even more awesome?
Well, I think after last year, we kind of got an opportunity to see what we were really good at and what we needed to improve upon. And one of the things we learned last year was that we needed some more shade, so we're going to have a lot more guest tents this year. We're also going to be giving all of our designated driver ticket holders craft soda and water this year. So bottomless craft soda from Zwanzig's. I think that's going to be really awesome. Our early entrant ticket holders, our VIPs, are going to get a really awesome gift when they come in the door along with their ticket. What else? Oh, we're selling merchandise this year too. We're selling merchandise at the festival, so I think that's going to be a really good improvement.
So for those who weren't able to attend last year or haven't heard about Columbus Craft Beer Fest, what are some of the things that makes this such an awesome event for our community?
So part of what drives the love for craft beer and for Columbus Craft Beer Fest, both for us, I think has a lot to do with our community, and just we're bringing people from out of town into Columbus and showing them our city. And not only does that involve showcasing our art that we have everywhere and our parks that are designed by amazing architects, but then also pushing them downtown after the event is over and kind of showcasing Columbus as a whole. And that's a big piece of it, at least for me, is bringing people here, showing them the positivity, but then also a lot of people in Columbus have never been to a craft beer fest before, and kind of showing them what that is like is a completely different thing. Because before I had been to a beer fest, I really didn't know what it was like, and it is an event that is full of positivity, full of great energy, and people that are just really happy. It's not so much a frat party, it's people who are there to actually try craft beer, talk to people who've made the craft beer, and learn more and expand their knowledge. And it's a great event. Everybody leaves happy. So.
Well, what I think is really great about it is we do get a lot of exposure to our local breweries, not only the ones immediately local here, but the ones in Indy and some that are not so local, even as far north as Mishawaka, and we have some breweries from Louisville coming in, and it kind of gives folks an exposure to their options when they want to do a day trip to farther destinations, and it gives them an opportunity to get their product out there, and people get a chance to try it. And hey, I would stop here for a beer or dinner or lunch or whatever it is when they're out and about, right?
So what can we expect at this year's Columbus Craft Beer Fest?
Yeah, so just like most beer fests, what we're going to do is you pay for your time that you're there. So if you're an early entry, you'll be able to get in starting at 2, and you'll avoid most of the lines that will start at 3 when general admission comes in. And you will get, just like standard beer fest, you'll get a sample glass, and that allows for unlimited tastings. So that's unlimited samples of craft beer until the time is up, until the last call at 6 p.m. And a lot of people sometimes think that this is such a small glass, it's no big deal, I should drink very quickly. But that isn't always the case, because craft beer is actually higher alcohol content than most beers. And so that's part of what a standard beer fest is. And do you guys want to talk about what makes it?
Yeah, so just to follow up on what Elaine said, 10 of these is 2 pints of beer. So, you go into a beer fest and you start out real quick anyway, and you think that this is just a real small drink, and after 10 drinks anyway, you've already got 2 pints of beer in you, and it starts to take its effect pretty quickly.
What's
so
the ABV on that?
that is probably an 8 to 8.5%. So yeah. But each of the breweries that'll be there, they're bringing at least 5 different types of craft beer a piece. So
Nearly like 200.
yeah. So
That's amazing.
So even if you do get in on an early entry ticket anyway, you'll never be able to try them all. So it's just a really good opportunity to go around and try all the different breweries and all the different types of craft beer, and you will not be able to outdrink yourself on this one.
We also have a lot of games and other activities for all the patrons. We have some great local bands. Tic Tac Flow and the Carmichael Band will be performing this year for the length of the festival. So come on and check it out, and you're guaranteed to have a good time.
Who are some of the people that you guys would like to thank who are making this event possible for Columbus?
There are so many people that we would have to thank that help with this. I mean, Swanzig's for one, being our principal sponsor. They've been an amazing partner to us, as well as a sponsor for the last 2 years. The Visitor Center of Columbus, Indiana, they have been such a great partner as well, helping us with marketing, helping us with being able to market outside of Columbus. We have other amazing sponsors like German American and Salesforce, LHP, Indiana Glass Coatings, WKKG, Yelp, Chevy of Columbus, Kenny Glass, Pickled Peddler, Main Source Bank, Marvin Johnson and Associates, Hotel Indigo, and actually Mary Linnup as well, and the Republic. Everyone has been amazing, and the volunteers that we have are unbeatable. It wouldn't be possible without our volunteers. And I also have to thank the committee, obviously. Everyone who's on the organization committee just does this in their free time. No one's being paid, and they spend hours every week doing this. It's definitely almost a part-time job. So I really appreciate everyone that's willing to put in time for this.
And I think Columbus, I think that's something that you guys should know. What really makes this group special is they're volunteering their time, energy, efforts, their talents to make this great event possible for Columbus. There's a lot of big beer fests, as you've heard, but they're all for profit. And what makes this one really special and unique is that this is a non-profit event, and that's why we should celebrate this and be a part of it. How can we support you all in this great event that we're going to be having next week?
Well, of course, you can buy tickets, tell all your friends to buy tickets, and visit any of our great local sponsors.
And all of the proceeds from our event go to nonprofit organizations. So Just Friends Adult Daycare Services for people with Alzheimer's and dementia, as well as the Park Foundation. If you can support those events, anything you want to give, all the proceeds from our event goes to that. So any support you want to give for that as well is amazing. And anyone who comes to the event, we are bringing brewers and people in from all over Indiana and from out of town. And we want to make a really good impression on them. We want them to love Columbus. We want them to see what we see. And so, if you're at Columbus Craft Beer Fest, just make sure you're yourself and be great and be amazing and have a good time. And that's what we're trying to bring.
You can, before the festival, tell when you're at your favorite brewery, patroning it, that you're excited to see them, that they are participating in the Columbus Craft Beer Festival. And after the festival, you can tell them how much you enjoyed seeing them there, or if it's a new brewery that you discovered there, let them know you discovered them at the Columbus Craft Beer Festival, because that really helps us in the future.
Awesome. Well, Columbus, I can't wait. I get to go this year to the Columbus Craft Beer Fest, and I hope that you will see us all there. Make sure to say hi to the committee, say thank you to them for all the time, energy, and effort that they've put into this, and enjoy some great craft beer at the Columbus Craft Beer Fest. Thank you guys for being on the show. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, make sure to buy tickets. Click the link in the description. You got to buy tickets right now. Thanks for watching this edition of the #CelebrateColumbus Show.